So the name of the game of Halls of Torment, which I think is a nod to just an Act 1 Diablo zone. Maybe it's later in the game, I don't know. Anyway, it's like all these other auto-attacking roguelikes. You just fucking pick up abilities and attack everything around you. But the secret sauce here, the thing that really makes the car go, is that it looks like Diablo 1. And it just is Diablo 1 in a can you can huff. What was I fucking saying? We're having a kid.
Yes, folks. That shit's happening. Can you believe it? I couldn't.
Yes. Winnie and I are having a kid. This is not like brand new information. We are in the second trimester. So far, my main responsibility has been to tell her to eat ice cream sandwiches. Which I've been doing really good at that.
I've been, as like future uncle, my deal has been to like co-sign when Joe says that like the child needs to game with the controller. Touchscreen gaming doesn't count. It's actually like actively detrimental to gaming fundamentals to start a child off with touchscreen gaming.
Like both my nieces are very intelligent. They're very gifted. But they game at a caveman level because they only had touchscreen stuff.
Yeah, like I, as a child, I didn't know it, but I sort of hit the absolute holy grail of like gamers' skill development, which is to say the first time I was ever able to play a video game, it was my brother's old NES, and I put in fucking Mario. I didn't know Mario was the best one yet. It was just like, I want to play this game, Mario. And it's like, oh shit, I learned all this. It's basically like I learned 10 languages how to read in instead of just one. Congratulations to Joe.
Yeah.
This is obviously a really important thing for us. Also Winnie kind of as well, but mostly it's just me and Joe who it's important for. I spent a lot of money hiring a ton of sex therapists to convince Joe that that actually was a necessary part of the process.
I just thought like if it was real, like if sex was real, it would have come up before, and it has not.
I mean, that's not an unreasonable assumption to make. But eventually we got it through to you.
Can I tell you some fun stories so far on
Yes.
the journey? This is nothing TMI. This is just like a weird thing. A doctor had a joke. They need to retire. We went to the OB-GYN, and the doctor's little haha move is just, and remember, we don't allow the husbands in the delivery room unless they have a piece of jewelry.
Boo.
And like, the funny thing is, like, because the doctor's visit was important, and I was like really tuned in and kind of like taking everything literally, and like how, and like my immediate thought was like, okay, I'll just push her down. She's not that big. I'll just get in there by pushing her down.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so that's a little dated. I don't love that one, but it's been an experience. It's basically like, you know how you said you love the wedding because it's everyone you've ever met ships a new kitchen to you. It's like that again, although they're more baby related.
Yeah, I mean, and also when you have a wedding and you get all the stuff, and then you immediately resume your life with no change. Whereas you're going to resume your life with an unfathomably larger amount of responsibilities and tasks. But hell, I still think that this is going to end up being good for your brain, because I think that you need to become a stay-at-home dad. It's gonna like it's gonna be like you finally, like you've been trudging through muck your whole life, and like you finally are walking on solid ground, and you're like, this is how easy taking a step forward has been. Because here you talk about your job, boy oh boy, you need to stop doing that shit. And the main reason you hate your job is because it's stupid and pointless. And you know what's not stupid and pointless? Making a little person cool.
It's already sort of ramping up because, like, we were doing our patio, cleaning it up. By doing makes it sound like we were, like, laying stone. We were making our patio not look shitty as not to get fined by our housing association.
Yeah.
And like years in the past, when I got to the fence, I noticed that waxy sort of remnant of a wasp nest, and there's always wasps everywhere. And like my first thought now was, wasps hurt baby. Must
They do.
stop wasps from hurting baby. Like it just like very basic caveman instincts, and it was definitely better than spreadsheets.
Hell yeah. I'd love to hear this. When you first told me about this, I was amazed. I was astonished. I mean, it's in retrospect, it's not that amazing. It's like, well, yeah, you're of that age and married. It makes sense. You have the money. It's just that, like,
We got a doctor wife. I cannot stress this enough. Everyone's got to get one of these.
but like every other person close to me who I know who has had a child, I've been able to rationalize this. Like, well, they're different from me. They live in the suburbs, or like they're like a little bit older than me. They're like 5 to 10 years older than me. So like I'm actually just graduated from college. So like I'm basically still a kid. So it doesn't
I'm
matter.
as a clown as you are.
Yeah, so it was fucked.
Yeah, so that's gonna change your math, maybe.
Yeah. But I remember I was like, obviously, when the time comes, we can take as much time off from Sickos as you need. Don't worry about that at all. Like, do not even put that into your calculus. Just take as much time as you need. We'll wait. It's all about you. And you're just like, oh, I don't think I'll need to take off any time.
No,
Why
I don't.
would I?
I don't mean I don't think I'll need to take off any time. I'm fully aware. It's more like I will need it. I will very much need it. And I think Winnie would agree too. I remember when we were living at Hell Tower, there was just like a period where we had not recorded anything because Shuffle Quest was on hiatus, and then just life was happening, so there wasn't like sicko stuff. And her questions were very funny. She was just like, "When's the last time you did Shuffle Quest?" Oh, okay. When's the last time you did it, Sickos? And it was just very clearly like, do the thing that kind of gets your brain sloshing the good way.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious to see how it shakes out. In any case, I'll be bringing you lots of pies and dinners.
Yes, our plan is to strategically split leave and FMLA to get to 6 months before daycare, with the idea that beforehand you're asking for a germ explosion anyway, but the 6 month mark is a little sturdier.
Oh shit, germ explosion. I didn't even think about how you're definitely getting Rona, dude. So long to your streak.
Yeah, no, it's over.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay completely sin-free. I gotta tell you all about a little, because like obviously I'm very excited about this, but it's distant, it's not me having a baby, so like it's exciting and it feels close to home, but like there's still a disconnect. So I'm not able to fully, how you can never really communicate with another person because there's an infinite gulf between two different minds that can never be bridged. Anyway, Joe was telling me about a weekend where he couldn't record because he was busy. And one of the things that was happening was the baby shower. And I'm like, oh, baby shower. Obviously, yeah, you're going to have that. That sounds amazing. So I don't even worry about it. Don't say sorry, you can't record. It's your baby shower. Obviously, enjoy, my man. And it occurred to me as the weekend got closer, like, wait a minute, why aren't I invited? But I was like, you know what? Winnie has all those Harvard friends. Joe's wife has those Harvard friends. They don't want to see the low people. So obviously I wouldn't be invited because I would be distasteful to them.
Lowborn chat is always popping off.
Yes. So I got these texts from Joe the day after the baby shower. At the baby shower yesterday, we played this game where you predict the baby's height, weight, and name. Everybody was calling the baby Fenton. Everybody was calling the baby Fenton. After next Fenton gets here, that sort of thing. So I guessed the baby's name was Fenton. I don't know any of these people. But they were like, you think the baby will be named Fenton? And before I could answer, some other woman said, I also thought the baby was named Fenton. I responded, "What the hell are you talking about?"
It never occurred to me that you could see this as anything other than someone else's baby shower. Not only is this not our baby shower, but like it was funny because Winnie was pregnant at this time, so we were just like, and we can't say anything because like then you're jumping the gun. It's their deal. We gotta be quiet.
Yeah, it's like doing a proposal at a wedding.
Yeah. And it did not even occur to me that you thought I was like detailing you how much fun I was having with my confusing friends, doing my play-by-play. And then when you were like I'm basically, you were like, this is why I'm pissed. I was like, this is so fucking funny that you're pissed about this because like I would never in a million years arrive at this conclusion. And it's like, now that I see where you're at, yeah, I get it.
Because like, one, why am I not invited to the baby shower? Two, why is Joe allowed to play the guess the name game? It feels like you got a big advantage, except also apparently like the hive mind decided that Fenton was it, but then also got mad at you for guessing Fenton. I'm like, what?
I'm so bad at being a dad already. I don't get it at all.
It took me so long. It's very funny because I feel like shit in retrospect, because when I said, "What the hell are you talking about?" your response was, "I'm communicating poorly and attempting to tell a story. I'll tell you with actual words later. Sorry." And it's like, oh fuck, like Joe, like I know this feeling where like you're tired and like you're trying to say something and I don't get it, and then you sort of just feel defeated by like, oh, am I stupid for not? Oh no, and like. No, it's me. This time it's me. I thought that okay, when you said I don't know any of these people, I'm like, I'm taking the joke I just made about like I'm too lowborn for the Harvard friends one further. I'm like, Winnie's Harvard friends love her enough to come to her baby shower, but they don't respect her enough to have ever met the husband. And I'm just like, this is really weird. This is really odd.
For the record, I get along with everyone. I'm lovely. Like it's never been an issue. But
I have met some of Winnie's Harvard friends. They're delightful. They're very nice.
They're very delightful. Oh God, one of them, when we were visiting them in New York, one of them said like the funniest thing. Like it was like a joke where I was like, if you said this on Sickos, you would replace Tom. It was like this couple was just like talking about like how they got closer during the pandemic and like their little rituals. And it was like a very sweet like conversation they were having. And then this woman who would replace you was just like, wow, we just played Diablo. But the other thing is, I was texting you pictures of Beverly, which was this other vector in this, because you were like, why is he in Beverly for his own baby shower? Usually your baby shower is in your own home. So why are you going to like the furthest south neighborhood on the planet?
It was very odd. It was, the whole thing was so confusing, and the whole Fenton thing made it even worse.
It was, my son is also named Bart in real life. It happened. It was so wonderful. And to be clear, the baby shower that was hosted was ran so well. I was very impressed. It's a lot of work. Not that I didn't know that going into it, but like when you see it firing on all cylinders and how you're bringing in a lot of people from different sections of everybody's life, it's a big lift.
Yeah, hell yeah. Okay. I was looking further through the test conversation, and this is a fucking when it finally came out what was going on, and we both understood. Ha 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 ha. You said that a good joke would be to say that this was our biggest fight yet. The last one was because Tom didn't think buying Murphy beds on Amazon was funny. That's true. It was a fight, and it's not funny.
It is fucking funny. It comes with the wall. If you buy 4 of them, that's a house.
My argument is, where else would you buy one? It's just like, what do you think? What do you want?
I thought there were no new ones. Like every Murphy bed in the wall is lost technology.
Yes. This is ancient Sheikah technology that we can't replicate. Okay, that's for no, I'm with you now. That's funny. I get it. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Anime Sickos. It's the podcast for geniuses and the only podcast where we take a look at the 4 billion. I shouldn't mumble. I'm pretending like I have to get through it like it's boilerplate, but there could be someone for whom this is their first episode, where we take a look at the 4 pillars of modern misery: anime, gaming, posting, and jobs. I am Tom, an anime sicko.
I'm Joe, an anime sicko.
We got one Patreon giver to thank and shout out for giving us $5. It is the number 1 fan of Joe and Schmo. Not Tom, Schmo. I'm Schmo, apparently.
Aww.
What do I think about that? Well, I think thank you for the $5. I can forgive pretty much
Number
anything.
1 fan. You think the Joe is me?
I mean, probably. And what a coincidence if not.
I just think I don't want to be too egotistical and assume.
I mean, they gave us money, dude.
That's true. That's probably us.
You don't give money to people for whom you are not a numbered fan of, be it 1 or any other number. Thank you, number 1 fan of Joe and Schmo, from me, Schmo.
Thank you.
You too can patronize us at patreon.com/animezigos. We use it to make our stupid fucking audio dramas.
Well, how is Schmo spelled?
SCHMO, the normal way.
Schmo. Okay, there's only 1 O.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not, dude, Shmoo is what you call like an animal or like your partner if it's like new. If it's like if you're in the honeymoon phase and you're not disgusted by that yet.
Yeah. The reason I asked is we say Shmoo. We like, hey Shmoo. That's what we say.
Okay, never mind. It's good now. I'm convinced. I call Lucy Shmoo, but that's because Lucy, Lou, well, pretty much anything that rhymes with that is going to be used to refer to her at some point. Lou, the goo, my Shmoo, the boo. I mean, really, I have made a spreadsheet of all the names I've called my cat, and I think it's like something like 50 or 60. Anyway, that's the point being. We're doing some posting episodes, but not a normal posting episode where we do a grab bag of different types of posts, some good, some bad, some horrifying, some funny. This is all one type.
This is a longitudinal genre study.
Exactly, yes. We mentioned previously that there's blood in the toilet now, by which we meant that the prioritization of the blue checks meant that you were only seeing Nazi thought on...
You are 2 clicks from a 4chan thread always.
Yes. It's just, and it makes Twitter very bad. Well, what we failed to realize is that those who engage in Nazi thought are very stupid by, like, definition, just inherently non-functional brains. Therefore, despite, their genocidal leanings, they will occasionally say the dumbest thing you've ever seen in a funny way. And then Twitter becomes what it was always meant to be, again, which is the zoo.
Yes. So the original tweet that spawned all these very good replies was essentially a Shark Tank ask, right? It was by Kevin O'Leary, a.k.a. Mr. Wonderful. Pitch me. Articulate your idea in 200 characters or less.
One thing that's very funny, I didn't really realize this until you just read it out loud, is 200 characters or less. What an arbitrary... that's not the limit for Twitter.
Well,
and blue check people
have forever posts now, so maybe that's needed, because Have you clicked on read more and it spools out in front of you like a demonic scroll? Like even Mr. Wonderful here hates that.
I mean, but I just thought it was very funny because I do not believe a single one of these freaks has taken that rule into consideration. But yeah, he asked, pitch me on your great idea. And well, we know from, experience seeing Twitter be this way for the last few months that these blue check freaks are all extremely confident and have a deep feeling of entitlement that like their ideas must be looked at and praised. Like you have to see them, you have to tell them good idea.
Sometimes you get to see them like prod someone's views and being like, why is that so high? Like why and that's fun too.
Yeah, just like how is it possible that you, a lowborn without a funny check, was able to get a lot of people to look at your post? And it's like, well, cause my post was good, you dumb fuck. Anyway, the point being, this is like incredible catnip for the dumbest possible responses from the dumbest people in the world. And would you believe, we got some dumb ones. In fact, why don't I just start right off with a truly incredible pitch from a man named Roman Simon, who bought a blue check. Now, this is very funny because, again, this is something that he wants a rich man who has lots of money to invest in. And he thinks this is a very good pitch. A video show, Human Unlimited, about limits, fears, possibilities, growth, and progress a person can make. I will explore all these concepts myself as a normal person and will show to viewers what is possible.
So my first piece of feedback is this is really concrete, very good. Does he not know about Stan Lee's Superhumans, which...
Oh, I did not know. This was all new to me when you told me about this.
Yeah, there was the show during the pivot to history, embracing Bigfoot more and more, and that sort of thing. There was a show called Stan Lee's Superhumans, and it was hosted by, not Stan Lee, because the only thing he was doing is like putting his thumb up at the start. It was hosted by, I think, like the most flexible man in the world, and he, would you believe it? He was a nightmare when he does those things to his joints. But he would go and interview other like superhumans, and like there was a guy, I believe, in like a rural part of India, and his thing is that he could just withstand insane amounts of electricity. Like he was fine. Like they like hooked him up to like a battery. His pupils went away, but like he was fine. I'm not joking. And they were like, "What the fuck?" There was another guy who had the less cool version of Superman syndrome from Kengan Ashura.
I love the Superman syndrome was the dumbest shit in the world.
So
if I remember
funny.
correctly, it's just that like your muscles were born 4 times as dense, so your muscles look the normal size, but they're actually like 4 times strong.
Yeah, it's like my 1 bicep is 4 biceps. What
Christ.
makes that so funny is that I think it's a Wakashiki, whatever, the huge dude with the Superman syndrome is like he was born the heaviest baby of all time.
Mm-hmm.
So the Superman syndrome that this guy had in real life is he had an unbelievably strong grip, and like they did a bunch of tests on it, and it like he had like the twitch fibers in his arms were just like too much, and the way they showed him using the strength is he like rolled up an iron pan like a roll, and to be clear, it wasn't like easy. His neck was fucked up when he was doing it, but like that is not something someone should be able to do. There was one guy who was blind and he was good at echolocation, so what they made him do is they made him ride a bike downhill where there was cones, and he just like clicked, and that was cool. All I'm saying is all this shit is already done.
Well, here's the thing, Show. Was Was Stan Lee Superhuman specifically a video show? Because my man Roman has made sure to make it very clear that he's talking about a video show named Human Unlimited. No, here's the thing. Here's the thing, Joe. I am sure that when Roman Simon is talking about the limits and possibilities and progress a person can make, the type of thing he's talking about is like, this man can answer emails later at night than anyone ever before. Wow. Like, this guy can do a 5K before work at 4 a.m. Wow. Like, that's what Human Unlimited is.
Yeah, this guy only eats one almond for the work week. His carbon footprint is nothing.
I will explore all these concepts myself as a normal person.
Oh, fuck. Like, this is a recurring theme with the show, but like we give credit where credit's due, and it's like that's funnier than anything we would put together sentence-wise.
If you ever find yourself like telling people, like apropos of nothing, like, by the way, I'm normal.
It's so funny.
Like, you got to go home and like really think yourself out. Something's wrong here.
Yeah, because then people don't remember that guy's normal. They remember that guy tried to convince me he was normal.
Yeah, exactly that. Oh, fuck. Okay. Here's a really good one. I love this one. From my man Relvin Gonzalez. Relvin! There's a name you don't see that often. Can you read it from Relvin?
A reversed Costco or Sam's Club for people with small families or single people. A grocery store with smaller portions for a fraction of the cost. For single people or couples, food waste can be considerable for perishable items. Solves over consuming, waste, and overspending.
Have you ever wanted to go to Costco but them not be big? Why?
Just like the thing that is missing here is that he doesn't understand that the Costco is the big version of the servings at the grocery. Yes! Like, so it's that is for regular people.
I also love that his issue is with like food waste. Like the big, like a really big thing with food and waste is the packaging, and like Costco is the answer to that. Like a bigger box is how you get less packaging. Like, that is it.
Like, everything should come in a big crate that gets dropped off by a forklift, and that's like, okay, those are all your toilet paper rations for the year.
I just love the extreme confidence business brain of like, I know, like, listen to my innovative idea. Like, what if Costco was sold them less big? It's like, man, you been to the store?
A reverse Costco where you work instead of shopping.
Yeah. What is it with people online and like not realizing that like we already came up with the store? Because every couple of months we have bodega discourse where it's like, greatest city in the world, baby, love the Mets, nothing like a bodega, and it's like, no, there's something like a bodega.
Yeah, we call them Target. We call them Target, and they're great. And I don't even mean the super Targets. I mean the regular ones. Yeah,
that's the store, dude. Like, they have the store. Speaking of the store,
you know what it is? The issue is people from New York love to talk about an egg and cheese sandwich they got from a small store. They are addicted to it.
They really are. Here's the thing. They sell sandwiches all over the world. They invented that in other cities too. Also, that they always go to like, an incredible egg sandwich. Well, I think cooked eggs are yucky.
Yeah, you start dry heaving.
Yeah, like I can have if I smell like an egg, I become ill. Not ill, but just like it gives me a little tummy.
You need to distance yourself.
Yeah. So you do not move me at all with like, you can get an incredible egg sandwich. I'm like, yeah, well, okay. That's actually that's worse than the store because I might get an egg sandwich and I'll go like, yeah, what do I do with this? Speaking of the store, another type of business people like to go to is the coffee shop. Joe, you like the coffee shop?
I gotta make time to go sit and fucking do coffee shop time. That was like one of my good go-to like read or like putz around on creative projects. And
yeah,
I got to do that again.
It's fun. It's
Yeah, and I have good options by me. I have no excuse.
Well, here's the thing, Joe. What if Eugene Pavlov was able to get his pitch in front of Kevin O'Leary and open this kind of coffee shop? A coffee shop with no social media. The only reason you're there is because someone told you that they serve the... Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Let me finish. Because someone told you that they serve the best coffee. Again, Joe, I just had a revelation that I did not parse until I said it out loud.
This guy thinks when a pizza place says the world's best pizza, it's not a lie.
I mean, there's that. But also, when I thought coffee shop with no social media, I thought that was one of those fucking boomer pieces of shit where it's like there's like a big rule board. It's like,
no,
rule number one, don't go on your phone.
His business idea is intentionally limiting reach.
Yes.
For no reason.
He's not saying that inside the coffee shop you can't use social media. He's saying that the coffee shop does not have accounts.
You know why this idea was pitched? Because someone in their life is on their phone too much.
Is it, though? Because, again, if that was the case, I would think it would be like rule number one. No phones. How about conversation? Remember that? Like, that's what I thought this was. This doesn't make... Also, why does he need to fucking pitch this to the Sharks? Coffee shops are around, and you can just choose to not make an account.
Yeah.
I love this guy.
Give me another one. I need another.
Okay.
I need a dinger. They're all dingers, but...
Okay, here's a dinger. This is from Tim Gedenk. Tim says, and man, this really is a good pitch. Actually, I think this one, I would invest in this one. An app that automatically creates the perfect calendar for you and makes sure you get everything done.
Someone should make an app that fixes all of my problems.
Yeah, well,
that's my pitch.
Jesus Christ. This is the thing about this. It's so funny is that like this is obviously the work of a idiot. The idea that like why does the app not simply solve all of my problems every time immediately? We laugh, but like the thing is like as far as pitches go, like this is like really good in terms of like will it get VC money? Because when you think about it, like, this was Theranos, like a machine that automatically makes the perfect blood tests and makes sure you get all the blood done. And
every time someone asked to see it, they did a Principal Skinner and was like, no. And now she's in jail.
I mean, like, these dumb fuckers, they see, like, well, what do I want? I want something that's perfect.
It should also be on my phone.
Yeah, and it's like there's an app that I made an app that's perfect, and it's like, oh fuck, I was actually looking for exactly that. Here's your money.
Can I, on the subject of app, can I say something that shocked me today? Work has various like webinars about different initiatives and stuff, so I was like watching one, and I started hooting and hollering because the central thesis of it was, there's too many apps. Like, we need to start killing these. And I was like, oh yeah, this is what I'm talking about.
Yes. So backlash finally occurs. It's not going to catch on, though. I mean, like, maybe some people believe that, but like...
in this context, it was just like, we need to limit the number of tools people have to use to do their job, because when it's like 100, it's very cumbersome.
Yeah. Joe, this is one that I'm gonna share it with you. I want you to read it, and I want you to tell me, what do you think he's fucking saying? Like what is this? Like obviously we know what he's saying, like word wise, but like what is what's his thesis?
Big picture, I'm letting you know. This is when they say they knew the assignment. People stop saying that. That's good. I didn't like that, but this is a case of not knowing the assignment. He was asked for an idea, and his idea, if I can summarize it, is just entrepreneurs are so good, dude. Here is the full text. Entrepreneurs are essential to building a better society. I help leaders like you achieve business goals using technology. Today,
using the app that does everything perfectly.
Today, every business leader needs a trusted tech advisor in their corner. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like pitch me your business idea. It's like my business idea is I'll be your best friend.
Every corporation over a certain size has a CTO, a chief technology officer. Like, I don't know what. I don't know, man.
Oh God. Okay. Joe, this one's really good. This is by at that guy Bill _Saul. Now this is funny because this is like a rarity in this thread in that it actually is a pitch for a product. But man, what a bad one. Oh my God. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna read the first half. You're gonna think it's a bad idea, and then I'm gonna hit you with the second half. So it is a golf ball that has a little tracker in it, so you can always find your ball during a round. What do you think of that? See any problems with that?
My stance on golf, as someone who used to do it even, is that it should only exist as a video game thing.
Yes, that's a good idea.
But I guess that's reasonable, maybe. There's no huge red flags, I guess.
For me, the two red flags is one, you're going to have to use an app to find it. Two, there already is a tracker built into most golf balls, which is that they do not teleport. You can watch them from when you hit them.
Also, if you hit the tracker one into the water, that's an expensive mistake.
Also, I don't know, it just feels like you're asking for trouble when you put like sensors and machinery into an item that best case scenario you hit as hard as you can. Like hitting it less than as hard as you can is like, oopsie, I messed up. Like you want to absolutely like atomize this thing. That's the point. Anyway, I'm gonna hit you at the second half of the pitch. So the golf ball is a tracker, so you can find it. But you have them expire after 30 days, so you still have to keep buying them.
Like, you have to have value in the first place before you start doing the evil thing. Oh, that really sucks.
I love, like, I like, obviously he's got the right shape of an idea in that, like, you have to build in some shittiness so that people have to keep buying the ones that don't have the shit on them yet. But, like, you have to pretend. It can't just be like, we make them turn off by, like, they just turn off. They just stop working. Cause fuck you. He. Like, I love it. I love that it's not even like, obviously they'll break. So that's why you have to keep buying more. It's just like, I'm just going to turn them shits off after a while.
And people might have access to this information and will decide whether or not to continue buying based on that information.
Oh my God. Yeah. Oh my God. Okay, let me find another dumb one.
The prepaid lunch one.
Oh, fuck. Yes. Okay, there it is. I found it. Yeah, the prepaid lunch one. There's a guy named Bob Pritchett. Bob says,
I have been thinking about this one a lot.
A prepaid lunch restaurant. Two fabulous menu items, each service published a week in advance. You reserve online. No food waste. Less staffing.
Reserving online is not new technology. It's very easy to do. This is clearly... This is so clearly that he had an appointment that got fucked up because the check part of the meal took too long, and he has held a grudge for the rest of his life.
Mm-hmm. This is also classic like business guy brain, which is they assume how something works based on no evidence, and are just like, that's a bad way for it to work. It should work differently. And it's like, well, buddy, it didn't work that way. He for sure thinks that a restaurant with a big menu of like a lot of things.
They make everything at the start of the day. Yes. And then...
Yes. They make 1,000 sandwiches, 1,000 burgers, 1,000 tacos. Like, and if someone doesn't order all 1,000, those sandwiches are just gone.
He thinks Panera is a JRPG shop.
Yes,
That's so cool.
Yes. Also, I just like.
How is there less food waste? How does he think food waste is produced in this situation that like it eliminates this? It's just having less menu items. Well, I guess we're going to address this because he thinks it's a million versions of everything. Forget it said anything.
He thinks that what happens is because you have to order a week in advance. A week in advance. Because you have to order a week in advance, they know for certain that on Thursday there's going to be like 300 people who want the burger and 500 people who want the soup. So they just make 300 burgers and 500 soups exactly. And what if someone doesn't show up? Or, oopsie, oh, I didn't think of that. My entire fucking my idea goes out the window. I also just like the fact that he thinks like the value add is what if I made restaurants way worse? Less options, worse. You are required to make a reservation for lunch?
Right.
You can't just like... It's like all these fucking very complicated ideas that these guys think up. Always forget the pretty huge and unavoidable issue is that you're going to have to explain the rules to everyone. And some people are going to hear the rules, not understand them, and get very mad. You will have every day people walking in being told, did you make a reservation last week? Go, huh? And
this is why Kong Dog is so funny, because the line is always full of people going, so what the fuck is this?
Is this for dessert or is this ice cream? Oh my god. Oh my gosh. This is a good one from Sephora Rothschild. A sports equipment vending machine for national youth sporting events. For fencing in particular, gear is expensive. It's faster to buy new than repair on site. Makes a difference to parents waiting in line. You can have that one. No one else is doing it. Yeah, no one else is selling swords
out of a machine. Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know what to say for that one, except it's a little disconnected. Just in terms of business mindset, of which I have a huge brain for, a vending machine that can only be used by a subset of the population, just like drinks. Like everybody drinks liquids. Liquids are great to drink. Swords, the numbers kind of fall off.
Also, I feel like unless you have taken a page from that golf ball guy and made a sword that like breaks after 30 days on purpose, like I don't know. I don't feel like you need that many swords.
I would definitely be like reaching up from the compartment trying to get a free sword.
Oh my god. Okay, Joe, there's a bunch that have to do with video games. I'm going to read a bunch of video games ones at once. And I love these. Whenever a business guy talks about video games, it's so funny because they know just enough about games to know that you can make a lot of money from them. They are a real part of like the commerce world.
Right. And they're addictive. So that's good.
Yeah, exactly. However, they are so ignorant of pretty much every single thing that makes video games appealing and have never played them and do not have the gamer's mind. They have the anti-gamer's mind, which is the business mind. They just like... it's like the fucking thought version of video games being played in TV shows where they like hold the controllers wrong and just sort of like slap the buttons.
Yeah, like they're playing like, Dead or Alive, but they're holding a ColecoVision controller.
Yeah, and they just like press the buttons at random and like they're playing a PS2, but it's still going like pew pew, and like they show Grand Theft Auto on the screen, and then they go like, "I need the high score."
That's
like,
done to specifically piss me off, right?
I think that at least on some shows it's them having fun, yes. But I wouldn't be surprised that a lot of it is just ignorance because this shit is this shit is that, but it's not TV. It's a guy. I'm gonna read you two. One from O Elements. A semi-idle auto battler phone and PC game that uses a micro battle pass system to encourage users to pay less to receive more over a longer period of time. Collect, evolve, battle, trade, and socialize with other players online to reach new levels and conquer the in-game world.
Let me tell you why that sucks. Tom, can you reread the first sentence?
A semi-idle auto... It's only 2 sentences. A semi-idle auto battler phone and PC game that uses a micro battle pass system.
All those genres, that should be a slam dunk for me, and I don't fucking care.
These guys... So this is like the fucking thing that always comes up. The core issue that they miss when they pitch a game is that, like, you're pitching a lot of, like, wrappers. You're pitching like a shell. You're pitching like something that can like a monetization hook. When you're pitching a game, the first thing you need to pitch is, what do you fucking do in the game? Mm-hmm. Like, what's the game? They never fucking do it. They never say, like this next guy, it's the same fucking problem. This is Marcus. Integrating NFT tech into the mainstream video game industry, which incredible that he thinks this is new.
The fucking star has fallen on NFT like a year ago.
That's how you can tell these blue checks are really smart. Gamers are going to flock to the first open world game where they can potentially sell their rare in-game assets for a profit to another gamer. Do you mean Diablo 2? That already happened.
That happened with 3, with real money. Chuck showed me how much money he made. It was insane. He was a hustler.
Chuck is like such a goddamn king. Okay, they can sub it. It'll also take some of the sting out of in-game charges, and it's just, and like, he didn't say this shit, but the thing that I love is the idea of, like, because it's an NFT and it's like, and it's like a special thing that like exists outside of just the game. You have the token that exists outside of the game. That means you can transfer your rare item to any game. And it's just like, what
are you saying? I remember a version of this like pitch, which is like, you could take your Hearthstone card into another game, and it's like, what is your Hearthstone card gonna do in Counter-Strike? What the fuck are you talking about?
It's fucking it's the old Venture Brothers Venture Brothers quote where they're trying to defeat the gangsters with 21's nerd shit, and he's like, those are Magic the Gathering cards. You can wing them at their heads. You catch a corner at one of those and they're gonna know what hit them. That's what they think. Like again, they don't seem to understand that, like, video games are not just a nebulous, like, token that gets moved around in the commerce world, because that's what they think all things are. The world doesn't exist. It's all just a thing it's all just money swooshing around in a big pot. They don't understand that, like, a video game, like, you need to have, like, the game part. Right. And the game part cannot support other shit getting thrown in from who fucking knows where. I love it.
Yeah. Not that I am a programmer or even like a developer, but like when someone starts talking about like, oh yeah, you can transfer this object into other games using NFT, I'm just like, what does the code look like? Like what are the lines say that make that happen?
I'm just like thinking about like Breath of the Wild, all those different like devices and doodads that you can mush together to make like machines and vehicles and all that shit. And like I have an NFT Counter-Strike of a gun. Like, can I put a gun on my car? Will it work? How much damage will it do? Will it do more than the beam emitter? I don't know.
The issue here, of course, is that like none of these pitches just like take the idea to like the next logical step. Just like kick it a little bit further down the road.
I mean, these people don't have the brain power to do to the next logical step. I mean, that guy who said the app that does everything perfectly really is... Like, that is it. Like, that's what these are all just variations of I want an app that does everything perfectly.
Here's the thing, though. If he fucking sticks it, he's going to be so rich.
That's why they fucking invest, dude. That's why it keeps working. Because they're like, well, maybe this app will do everything perfectly. Like, you know, wouldn't it be Wouldn't it be so fucking embarrassing? How could I explain when this app takes off, because it does everything perfectly, that I had the opportunity to invest and I didn't? And I had heard that it was going to do everything perfectly. Like, I knew that. And yet I
made fun of it on my podcast. And boy, is there egg on my face.
Joe, speaking of people who don't understand that things are real and have value in and of themselves, and think that they are just tokens to be given back and forth in a big economic mush, we have Startup Christina. Oh man, what a name. Saying a stock market for music. Risk modeled on time, on scene, and staying power. Artists can self-monetize rather than relying on labels, and fans can create generational wealth from investing in music? Joe, in what way is this not just like gambling? Like, replace music with sports teams and like a stock market for sports teams. Yeah, that's called fucking betting.
Generational wealth is a claim.
Like, how much money do you have to have as an individual before it becomes generational wealth? Like, what would you say? Like, legitimately.
I would say enough that, like, the estate tax does a thing.
Like, I'm thinking, like is 50 million not enough?
Yeah, like,
for
that's generational wealth. You're set for. I could have such a fail son for 50 million.
So this person is saying that, like, I could buy a share of, like, Imagine Dragons and make $50 million?
If it's like a music bookie, like you take parlays about who's going to get Grammys and stuff, then, like, I guess this would work. But that's not the sense I'm getting. It sounds like you invest in an artist. Like, you would... Like, I am investing. I'm getting on the ground floor for Justin Bieber.
What do I get as a stockholder? Like, if I have a stockholder in a company, I get to, like, go to stockholder meetings and vote on things, and they have a fiduciary responsibility to do everything they can to maximize my value. If I, like, buy a share of Jandek, do I have to be like, dude, you have to start making pop bangers now, and you have to sign with a major label? Like, it's, I own you, Jandek.
This is actually nightmarish, because taking it further, this would make everyone a slave to the algorithm even more, because everyone has a board that is telling them what exactly they need to produce based on the optimization records. Mm-hmm. I don't like this. This idea is not generational wealth. It's what happens when Michael Jordan loses potentially in Space Jam, and he has to spend his whole life performing.
It's fucking Space Jam. It's exactly that. And Joe, I'm glad that you have independently, without any prodding from me, come to the conclusion that this idea really sucks. Like, more than the shit from before. Like, this is an exceptional amount of suck. Because Startup Christina replies to her original post with a addendum that says, by the way, all, this is an idea I recently pitched in my MBA school entrepreneurship class. And I recently graduated and started building the tech. Not only did all the people at business school say, oh shit, this is so smart, but it's not just a pitch. She's doing it.
And here's the thing, though. Like, we make fun of it, but there's also people who will just trample us because they're like, yeah, it's a dumb idea, but by sheer force of will, I will make it happen. Patton Oswalt has, like, the best bit on this, which is the guy who made Deathbed. You know, like an awful idea, but, like, it was made to be by willpower. She's gonna fucking Griffin from Berserk this into the world.
Yeah. Fucking Christ. Here's a good one. I don't even know if this is a good one, because I can't really understand what he's saying.
It's a good one, then. It's a good one, then.
This is by Tom Quantum. Not me. Some other guy named Tom. Tom Quantum. Community co-op garden / market. I like it so far. Based on a local tokenized L2 coin. Members / employees hold an NFT. Ooh. Hold an NFT that gains value as the demand and usage grow. Of the garden? Make it modular. What is Okay, make it modular. Sure thing, pal. So that it can be replicated across. Wait, make the idea of a garden modular. They're pretty modular, dude. It's a bunch of soil. Make it modular so it can be replicated across towns. Offer to sell products for other currencies at a markup, absorbing fiat and making it useful.
What are the numbers on this? Like what did likes and retweets and stuff?
We got 4 quote tweets, 6 no tweets that do not have comments. It is only quote retweeted, and they're all private. 6 likes.
How is this different than the app that does everything for you? He just took more words.
The view, you didn't let me finish. And the view count, again on the 6 like tweet, 16,900.
People are gawking at the zoo.
I love the zoo. It's just like, what, again, okay. What is the pitch? Have a community garden. That's step 1. I like that idea. And then, like, what the fuck are you talking about for the rest of it?
It's a community garden and then just Web3 words.
It's based on a coin. Members hold. Okay, so if you get a space in the garden, you also get an NFT. You get like a deed to the land that gains value as the demand. So I guess the point being that you could sell your plot to someone else if they want it more, and then you can also sell the vegetables for money.
That's just the concept of value without an NFT. Like, that's just...
You can just do that.
Yeah.
I love this. Oh my God.
Prepaid lunch restaurant is still winning for me, though.
Here's a good one. Choose your own adventure in cinemas. Collective. Democratic. Majority rules. Seamless choices. Called Control Movie. You'd want to check it out and be part of it. Don't you hate all those awful authors? Aren't you sick of your favorite artist always doing things in their signature way?
I want to see a movie. I don't want to have to do anything.
If I wanted to decide what happens in a story, do you know what I'd fucking do? Is I would write a story. Speaking of, Sickos Secret Project coming out very soon. Keep your eyes peeled, folks.
The stars have aligned very quickly.
I love how it seems like these days, more than ever, sorry, I just got a glimpse of the next one. I'm going to get to it fast because it's stupid. More than ever, we see over and over people who cannot fucking fathom how fiction works and like get like really upset and scared when a character is evil and like doesn't go to jail at the end and like doesn't have the judge look right at the camera and say, no, none of you fuckers at home better do that too. We live in this world, and he still thinks like, you know what would make movies better is if all those fucking rubes could decide how they end. Okay, Joe, this is a very fun twist on an app that does everything perfectly. Because, like, usually when people say that dumbass thought process, they have to go with app because no one really understands what an app does. Apps live on the phone. They don't do any... Like, apps aren't real. Like, you need to have everything not be real. The less real your product is, the better, because it's just... It can be, like, a fucking spoon stirring the commerce pot. It doesn't have to be anything, and the fact that it's useless is irrelevant. Is it stirring the commerce pot? Then great, it's working. So an app that does everything perfectly, great. You can't falsify it, because who knows what's going on with those apps. A video game that has an auto battler fucking video game with a mini battle pass with NFT integration. No fucking business guy is going to play that. So the fact that doesn't make any sense doesn't matter. The fact that this guy has decided to go with a meat space real life product is fantastic. Because usually when you pitch something like this, you have to have been an inventor who made it. But he is just saying, My pitch is I want this to be around. This is Colin Jordan. A Zamboni, but for baseball fields. It has the hose, water reserve, chalk, rake, all attached. Every baseball team in the world could use them.
Honestly, this man is smart. He is an idiot for saying it before building it. Because it is a good idea.
And a machine that does everything perfectly. It makes sense to me.
There should be a machine that does baseball perfectly.
Oh my god. I think that's all the good ones from that thread. We are at an hour, but I have a few more dumb blue check ones I want to say because they're so funny. Can we do a few more? Are you
Blast through them.
Blast through them. And this is from, I don't know if anyone's fucking thinking about this still. But at the time of recording, we're still in the thrall of the submarine story. The Titanic submarine, there was a stupid privately owned submarine that cost $250,000 to go on. That goes down to the fucking Titanic. And the CEO of the company was like, I hate safety and will never build my submarine up to standards.
Safety is cuck behavior.
Yeah. And the submarine, they lost contact with it. There was a ghoulish HP bar that they put on the news that showed the HP of everyone inside for days and days. Which is
fucked up because it's clear now that it imploded like when they lost contact, right? So the life bar spectacle is disgusting in that context, right?
Extremely ghoulish. The dancing in blood, you might say. I saw some person describing what happens when a submarine implodes. And it's like, there have been some people like, will they find the bodies? And the guy was explaining like finding a body after a submarine implosion is like finding a candle after it has been burned up. Like, there does not exist an intact cell of any of these people in the entire universe. They have been absolutely annihilated. Anyway, here is an incredible post, again from a blue check named Leia Heilpern. Possibly Leia. The submarine thing is suspicious. It seems very far-fetched that a bunch of billionaires would take such a risky trip to check out the Titanic ruins. Now, Joe, do you think that's true? Do you think it is far-fetched? Would that be your take?
She's like, I don't believe billionaires have weird obsessions that they get too into. That doesn't seem right.
And I certainly don't think that having a lot of wealth would give you a feeling of invincibility and immunity to all problems or misfortune. So none of this adds up. Oh, this next sentence from her is extremely funny. So she says it's far-fetched that anyone would do this. Any billionaire would do this. I mean, surely they have more pressing things to do as they're billionaires. That isn't, like, that's an idiot blue check business brain thing. Like, prosperity gospel all the way.
This is the things billionaires do. Like, you either buy a huge boat or you go underwater.
Yeah. Like, well, don't they have better things to do? This is exactly what all the people who idolize Musk. This is like the keystone to that entire thought process. It's like, if you have a lot of money, you must be doing the goodest work constantly. Anything otherwise, who paid you?
In that moment is the most high value thing because you are doing it and you're worth so much.
Yeah. Yes. How it seems very far fetched that they get on a risky trip. I'm sure they have more pressing things to do, and now they've disappeared. Sounds like an escape plan. To which another blue check. It's blue checks all the way down. I'm not going to read a single post not from a blue check in this entire episode. Is TJ Sharp says, did they have dirt on the Clintons? To which Leia responds, likely. I love it.
The Clintons are so boring now.
the thing, I've wondered this all my life, and I know the answer is it doesn't matter. This is just a fucking Mad Lib. They'll replace the Mad Lib word with a different guy. But like, I remember as like a kid hearing about George Soros, and I asked my dad, like, who's George Soros? He's like, he's this old fucking guy who made a lot of money off of like real estate or something, investments. I don't know. He donates to some left wing causes now and then. And I'm like, okay, that's it. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, what's gonna like? And like, he was old as shit then. And I'm like, well, what are they gonna do when he's dead? And I still think that, just like, there's like the Clintons, Soros, like they're not players no more, right? Like, we know, like, Hillary Clinton has very publicly been made not relevant.
I think this is why there's so much juice for the Hunter story, because he's young, he's full of drugs, he loves to fuck. So I'm just saying he's going to be around for a while. Like, you could make the argument he's a player for a long time.
That's true. That's true. He might be the next person who gets put in the Mad Lib. I think the Hunter story is very funny because, like, I can't, like, Soros, I can see moving the needle for idiots because he's Jewish and there's a lot of Nazis out there. So that's going to work. The Clintons also, people hate the Clintons. That's got juice. But like Hunter Biden, like, what do you think is going to happen when your big pitch is like, there's this guy. He's not important. He doesn't have a job or anything. But he loves to party and he fucks babes like a lot. His dick's huge. Here it is.
I'm sorry you couldn't get all your friends riled up about being upset at Slurms McKenzie.
I mean, it's fucking Slurms McKenzie, dude. God damn it. I love this shit. Honestly, when you think about what Leia's saying, it makes a lot of sense. How likely is it that these billionaires went on a risky trip? Well, isn't it much likelier that the Clintons got them? Yes, it is. Oh, here's another one about another blue check about the submarine. So this is the BBC has broken the news that the pieces of the sub that imploded were found in a debris field near the Titanic, which pretty much cements it as, yeah, they were killed instantaneously and they were incapable of even perceiving that anything was wrong between nothing being wrong and them being not existing anymore.
So as best as it could have gone, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, the best possible catastrophic failure. Definitely infinitely better than 5 days of slow hell. So that is the story. The rear cover and the landing frame of the submarine were found in the debris. To which a blue check named Thatch Weave says, if the rear cover is off, then that means they may have swam over to the Titanic and are now safely inside.
Is this a guy being a dumb guy for fun? Because that's a very funny thing to say.
I don't know.
What I like about this is he thinks the rear being kicked out is like the back of the school bus in an emergency opens up.
Yes.
Yeah, so he thinks, if he is sincerely believing this, that they swam into the Titanic, but then it was like the dry docks level from Super Mario 64, and they swam up into just a chamber of air. It was a house. It was fine.
Yeah, the Titanic, which famously is fine. Like, nothing bad happened to it. Fucking Christ. Is this guy... Okay, so I went to his page, because the post I'm looking at is a screen cap. Oh my god, and there's another one where... Oh, fuck. He said another fucking Titanic thing. The Associated Press, this is prior to it being made public that it fucking imploded. It says, based on its 96-hour capacity, the Titan's air supply could run out Thursday morning, blah, 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 blah. Thatch Weave says, if they hold their breath, that would give them an additional number of hours.
This has got to be someone having fun. I refuse to believe.
I'm looking at their profile now.
Do they have a blue check?
They do indeed.
Okay, so they're paying $8.
Unvaccinated is in their bio.
Okay, we're done. That's fine. We're good. We're good.
I'm looking at their media tab. We got Donald Trump eating a ice cream bar. It says all these flavors and you choose to be salty. Gavin Newsom as Fred from Scooby-Doo is going to unmask the ghost and says, let's see who's responsible for the destruction of California. He takes the mask off. It's also Gavin Newsom. We have a rainbow flag and it says June is Groomer Awareness Month.
Okay, so maybe this guy is sincere.
I think so. Man, he has put that June is Groomer Awareness Month picture up about 1,000 times. If this guy is funny, if this guy was making a joke, it seems like it's not impossible, but to hit that level of funny from that type of brain is like, I don't know. It's like buying a winning lottery ticket, and to think he did it twice on the same topic, telling different jokes each time, because he's a repeating the joke type of guy. He's posting that June is Groomer Awareness Month picture over and over and over. He is the type of you would think that that's the type of conservative brain that if they were to tell jokes would only tell I identify as insert thing here, ha 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 ha, one joke type of guy. I choose to believe that he's just a fucking idiot.
They should hold their breath.
It would give them additional hours. Oh my God. They could have swum to the Titanic and be safely inside.
Not
Jesus
only
Christ.
that, but we know when you are completely submerged in water and you come for air, that refills all of your life bar, regardless of how hard, regardless of how hurt you were.
And also that being like miles under the water.
yeah.
That's fine for you.
I know physics doesn't work like this, but the idea that like there is one big defined push to like push yourself out of the sub and into the water, and then you immediately implode from the pressure.
Yep. God. It's also just like they're safely in the Titanic. Like I read this story that my wife sent to me. It was a fantastic feature article about a rescue dive, like a cave diver found like a dead body of another caver in this cave that he was exploring, and he's like, I want to get this guy out. I want to retrieve his body, for his parents, so it's not entombed in this cave forever. And he made his big project, and it was a harrowing story. I'm not going to get too much into it, but a big part of it is like talking about the logistics of doing these big dives and how like a 1,000-foot dive, to the bottom of this cave, the amount of time that it takes to safely resurface without getting the bends so bad that you're fucking killed means that if you're down at the 1,000 feet point for like 1 minute, you have to spend something like 10 hours surfacing. And that's 1,000 feet. That is like, as we say, 1/5 of a mile, less than. And he's like, being at the Titanic level, you'll be fucking fine. You just need to get a second sub down there. They're going to open the door on that sub. You walk into the sub. You drain it. You come back up. You're going to be fine. And this is this is the last one I'll read. We don't have to say much about this. It kind of speaks for itself. This is a close to home one, too, because this is in response to the news story of there was a car accident on 59th and Pulaski in Chicago where a car was going extremely fast. It was going so fast that it hit another car. And then that car started going extremely fast. And that car was thrown into a bollard that was placed on the corner of the parking lot of a 7-Eleven. And it hit that bollard with such force that the car was completely torn in half and wrapped around the bollard such that it looks like you've torn the car in half and there's just like a tiny sliver of the right like exterior holding the two halves together. It's absolutely horrifying how fucked this car is. The response from the blue check is, he was going so fast to get 7-Eleven Slurpee.
Yeah. He was.
He was.
He really was.
He was going so fast. He was.
I think that's the same thread where there is a very good example of car brain, because someone is talking about how, like, you know, these bollards saved this business because they would have been absolutely destroyed by this speeding car.
And as people point out, right in the path of the speeding car are two big fucking cages full of rentable propane tanks.
Yeah. And someone replies, like, she's replying to someone speaking to the efficacy of these bollards that saved this destruction of property further. Her reply is, didn't work out so well for the car, but I get your point. What does she want? Does she want a bouncy castle? Like, this is terminal car brain.
I love this fucking post. I was wary about saying this because this is the only post not by a blue check today. But, you know, I'm going to give this person an honorary free check. I think Elon should give this person a blue check for free like he tried to do with Drill. Because, like, this is the kind of brain that really deserves the blue check. Didn't work out. Like, I'm so glad that the bollard worked. This car clearly was going so fast that it would have destroyed all the propane tanks. And even if not, absolutely atomized that store. Just gone through all the walls. Bam, bam, bam. Gone in through the front, come throughout the back. Destroyed. It would have happened, but it did not because of the bollard. And it's just like, well, the car broke, though. I responded, and I'm pleased to see. I didn't get any notifications because I only have notifications for people I follow. I responded to this with the, in my view, funny post of lion in zoo pounces at 2-year-old and slams harmlessly against glass. This zoo enclosure didn't work out so well for the lion.
Yeah, she's focusing on the wrong part. She thinks someone died. Like, when a car gets wrecked, they go to heaven. I'm pretty sure last I heard, the guy in the car that got ripped the fuck up is in critical condition. Not good, but like the fact that he was ever not dead after this is like good news. The car is ripped in twain.
Yeah, he was able to get to the hospital breathing, which, like, wow. Okay. That is, could have been worse. Holy moly. Anyway, I guess the point is, Twitter's bad, but there's some really dumb fuckers on here. And it's funny when they say their dumb words.
Yeah, I'll be here till the end.
Blue Sky is more pleasant, but again, there's no one at the zoo. It's not the zoo. I think I said it before, but it's all the posts on Blue Sky are the work of smart and pleasant and clever people. I want to see posts by beasts. And the blue checks, they're beasts. These are... These do not... As you've seen from the fruits of their brains, these people do not have human minds. Anyway. Anything left? Are we done?
We're done.
Radical. That's everything we got for Anime Sickos this week. I've been Tom, an Anime Sicko.
I've been Joe, an Anime Sicko.
If you think you're Joe's #1 fan, if you think that other fucker is lying, prove it to us.
With $5.
Yeah. You can do that. Anyway, bye-bye.
See you.
Thank you for listening to Anime Sickos. I've been Tom, a sicko. You can follow me on Twitter at TomHarrison19. Joe is also a sicko. You can follow him on Twitter at ShariaUncle. You can follow Anime Sickos on Twitter at Anime Sickos, or email us at animesickos@gmail.com. Please leave us a review or something. I don't know. Tell a friend. Anyway, until next time, bye.